Welcome back. This episode, we're going to find our rhythm with a true UK rock star. Due to some strong language and adult themes, viewer discretion is advised. Let's get started. The IDKs are four lads from Essex, UK, who have come together to recreate the greatness and nostalgia of the 90s in modern rock and roll form, creating a mix of indie, alternative, and rock and roll genres to create one massive sound. We have with us today Mr. Greg Judd, frontman and rhythm guitarist. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
No complaints that you want to hear. So after working together on that music collab, I do have to admit the IDKs have nailed that feeling of those songs that are near and dear to my heart
Oh,
growing
thank
up.
you.
Yeah. No, thank you. Can you elaborate on some of the inspirations that helped create the sounds for the band and how did you come together to be the IDKs?
Inspirations. There's a ton. I'll give you a quick list after, but inspirations on the tracks that we've got now. Most of my songwriting I learnt from. So basically, I learnt to play by learning songs from Oasis, Blur, Catfish and the Bottlemen. There's tons of other bands. But then when I was writing songs, I remember the first song that I wrote, which we haven't released. Um, it was a Catfish and the Bottlemen song, and the chords I just switched them round, and then like just done that, and then wrote my own song after it, and then I just learned how to create a structure, and then from there just produced my own song. So I'm heavily influenced by. I mean, I don't do that for every song because I don't know if you'd get away with that or you'd be able to do that, but yeah, it's heavily influenced the way I songwrite and the way I do stuff. If you want a list of bands, I'll be as quick as I can because I tried
Yeah.
listing them all, and I think, oh mate, Oasis, Blur, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blink-182, One Night Only, Fratellis, Feeder, Snow Patrol, Arctic Monkeys, Blocks, Lauren Hibbert, Kasabian, DMAs, The Academic, Hunter Snuts, Wannadies, Seagulls, Bo Radleys, The Killers, Stereophonics, Circle Waves, The Pigeon Detective, Sam Van Der Keen, Lit, Caesars, The Streets, MGMT, Third Eye Blind, Catfish, The Verve, Travis, Mocking Turtles.
While Greg rattles off some of his inspirations, we'd figured we'd share some of ours. Check out Chords Unanswered, our collaborative playlist of him and the IDKs, now available on Spotify.
Spin Doctors, Semisonic, The Libertines, Vaccines, Stroked, Vampire Weekend, Razorlight, Foo Fighters, Nirvana, Jamie T, Franz Ferdinand, The Jam, The Beatles, Rolling Stones, I'm nearly there, The Cure, Hardfire, Muse, The Lars, Reef, New Radicals, The Bracknell, Lucetters, Bilk, Coldplay, but the old stuff,
Ah, all
Gold,
right.
Smash Mouth, Boys Like Girls, Fleetwood Mac, Jimmy Eat World, All American Rejects, Cinder Karma, Supergrass, Jets, The White Stripes on Radiohead.
Goodness
There's probably
gracious.
more.
There's so many of those that are so familiar to me and then some that I've never heard of. So
Hmm.
thanks once again for helping with that collaboration. I've turning me on to some music that I've been missing out on for all these years. So
Yeah, it's that's the thing. Like for us, like that's why even though we are an indie rock band, like I class myself as universal rock, just purely because there's no when I write a song, there's no really genre or anything that I think of. I just write it, and my influences and my record collection is so eclectic that it just could be anything. I mean, yeah, that is mostly indie rock and that side of rock, but yeah, we could be doing anything really.
we'll have to talk about some of those collections in a bit. But speaking of your music and the feelings, how do you create music to evoke a certain feeling or emotion or sound or I guess or what's even the end goal for a track once you're done?
So for me, I mean, originally so the way we usually do it is that someone will write a song and then they'll bring it to practice and we'll bring it together. I am of the opinion that I write a song, I get to the end, and then I listen and think, is the song shit? Is it good? So if it's good, I'll keep it. If it's shit, I'll bin it, and then I'll just delete it, and then just keep going. And then hopefully I can only produce good songs. So we do that. We bring it to practice. We'll play it together, and then we'll say the same thing again as a band. Is it good? Is it shit? And then we'll go from there. To invoke emotion, I don't know really. Like I guess every time that every time I make a song and I usually think it's good, um, I'll sort of play it back to myself, have a listen, and then think because when I write a song, there is really no meaning to it until afterwards. So I have a very similar listening theme as the actual listeners because I'll sit there, have a listen, and go, okay, what does this song mean to me? I mean, sometimes that can happen halfway through because I'll write a few words, see what comes to mind when I'm playing the music, and then I'll listen and be like, okay, what is this song about? And then it makes it easier to write as well. So sometimes I can work that way. Um, I mean, yeah, I feel like our songs with the words and they can be very thought provoking. I mean, most of our aim is just like the two main aims we have is writing good music and um just doing what people want from everyday forms of media, which is escapism. Just being able to listen, just being able to take out their daily lives. We don't write about politics. We don't want to get involved in politics. We don't care about like anything that's going on today with like what people's opinions are, what people, ideologies and agendas are. We literally don't care. It's like you get that shit all day, every day. Just sit
Certainly.
back, relax, and just enjoy some music. When you get home from a long day at work, the last thing you want to do is think about work. So you want to sit down, chill, watch some TV, watch a movie, play a game, listen to some music. So that's all our music is. It's escapism. We want to be thought provoking. We want you to listen to the lyrics, and we want you to just mainly enjoy yourself at the gigs, or even if you're at home listening on Spotify.
So that kind of alludes to my next question. What sources do you draw from for motivation? And I know many people do utilize music, like you said, for escapism, but also
Mm.
as an avenue for motivation as well. Does music have a different effect on you since you're so involved in the music process?
Yeah, I'm actually quite weird with music. I only listen to happy music, and I can't listen to music if I feel sad or if I'm going through anything bad in my life. Like, so for instance, if I go through like a breakup or anything like that, for the life of me, I can't stand listening to any sort of music. Um, and I
Really?
just, yeah, it's just so weird the way it is with me. I'm just like, I can't do it. But then as soon as I'm in a good mood again and I'm listening, I'm like, right, I'm loving it now. Because for me, I don't know, just all the best times of my life, like going to festivals with friends, playing gigs, cheering people up and just giving people the best time. For me, like, I'm not saying that music can't be used to get people through tough times, because it absolutely can. And there is the type of songs that this is just the way I work with music. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's just, yeah, like I said, it's a form of escapism. It's what we use for social interactions and things like that. Like when you're in a gig, going arm in arm with someone, looking up at Liam Gallagher as he sings Wonderwall, yeah, there's no better feeling. You don't even know the people to your left and right. You got your arms around them, like, it's that unity,
Yeah.
it's that bringing the people together in a world where technology is just splitting us so far apart. I think it's amazing that you can still have vices that bring us together. So yeah,
Certainly.
that's what it is for me.
And so you mentioned you don't listen to music when you're in a bad mood. Do you ever play music or write or anything along those lines when you're in maybe not such a good mood?
So our bass player, Jules Will, his motto is there's nothing. He's the guy who wrote Never Listen, which is absolutely flying at the moment. He wrote that, and he says, once you go for a breakup, get writing. But for me, I'm the complete opposite. Yeah, I can't write music, can't listen to it, can't do anything. Like, for me, it's been such a positive influence on my life, and I want to carry that forward to people and just yeah, I just really struggle. Like, even like people who have, like, passed in my life and stuff like that, can't write about them. I've sat there and tried once, and I was just like, I can't do this. Like, it was just too emotional. Like, it was just, yeah, it was just a real struggle. So yeah, I'll just try hard to. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm still influenced by everything in my life that goes on, the things around me, and like being a working class lad, and you know doing a 9 to 5, coming home, still grafting, doing the music, just to try and keep the dream alive, like that sort of thing. People can relate to that, and I think that's what it is. It's just relatability. But I feel like no matter what I write at this point in my life, people will understand if they're going through the same thing.
And I feel like that's a burden to bear for you to not want to indulge in music and keep some type of positive aspect to it
Mm,
for others. So I commend
mm,
you for that. So you had
thank you.
mentioned Jules. He's on the bass, yeah.
Correct, yeah. And he also does. He does sing as well. He does some
Okay.
backing vocals, yeah, and he does sing on our track. Never Listen. He sings during the verses. So
And
yeah,
then you got Mitch.
Mitch on lead guitar and Mason on drums, and
Mason does.
our boy Vinny, who's he's working in, like, I guess, advertising and merchandise.
Oh,
Can't forget our
nice.
boy Vinny. Yeah.
Nice, Mr. Vinny as well. No, can't forget about him. We talked a little bit about emotion. Talked. I'm just curious. How do you and the band decompress through the late nights, through the tough schedules? I did notice that uh, there's you out on a boat doing some rowing, but is there any activities or is there any other way that y'all decompress from y'all schedules?
Drinking. Um, yeah. Drinking a lot. Uh, a little bit of the other stuff.
All right.
Yeah, just partying. I guess, yeah, it's just the usual stuff. You get home from work, like you're living for the weekend. I guess as well, it's not just that. It's drinking. Like obviously, we're drinking. We're going out after gigs as well. We just get straight on it. It's just the best thing when you live in that rock and roll style. You got that buzz, and you're just like the adrenaline's buzzing. There's nothing better. So it's just you got to keep the night going. That'll keep you going for hours.
Really?
I hope it's still the adrenaline at that point, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, but yeah, it's no, it's good, man. Like, yeah, do that. But then like you got your evenings and stuff. To be fair, a lot of the time is taken up with music. Like we don't really get a lot of downtime because when we're not working, we're working on the music. If we're not recording, we're looking for gigs. If we're not looking for gigs, we're doing marketing. If we're not doing marketing, then we've got to work out what the next post is. And we don't know what the next post is, then we're working on promoting on playlists. If we're not doing playlists, then oh yeah, there's just so much stuff that you got to keep on top of nowadays. I mean, back in the 90s and noughties, you probably had about 12 people doing this for you, but unfortunately, in today's era, you're better off with a marketing degree than being able to play guitar to be a musician.
No joke.
It's insane.
No joke. Well, I do know a
Yeah,
playlist if
yeah. Oh
uh
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll get that
um
out there.
so you talked a little bit about how y'all decompress and that you do it for the music. What part what aspect I guess of being an artist requires the most discipline, would you say?
Um, Genuinely, I think it depends. It depends what you're calling an artist. I mean, what we do, weirdly enough, I'd say everything but the music takes the most discipline because it turns out that when you get into a band, like everyone wants to get in there, start making music. It's sounding great, it's sounding amazing, it's all fun. You're going and playing gigs, but then when you get into the thick of it, and you're like, right, we can actually do something with this. Um, it goes on, and like I said, all the other stuff with the marketing and getting things out there, keeping on top of TikTok, keeping on top of Twitter, keeping on top of Facebook, getting posts out there, making sure you're getting the music done and it's out there. Because I remember like listening to bands, they're like, "Oh yeah, we've got to write a whole new album. We've only got a year." I'm sitting there thinking, "I've got to do that plus all the marketing." So you've got to be disciplined in that way to get it all done. But yeah, like I said, like for us, like it's an absolute passion and we love it. If we didn't love it, we would have given up ages ago because the amount of work that you've got to put in is nowadays. I mean, I don't know what it was like back then. It might have been hard back then, but it seems hard now. Um, so yeah, it's just make it fun. But this is why I do things like this because I'll be honest, like I'm not the best at social media. I didn't really get in for it for social media, but all my favorite bands, all my favorite artists, are usually doing interviews and things like this, and I just feel like this is the best thing, like human interaction, like having a chat, having a conversation, like us talking and getting to know these people. This is the best way for me, I think, to get to know a band, to understand about them. Then you can go listen to their music from them. I think it's mutually beneficial for both of us as well that we can help promote each other, and I think it's another great thing to bring people together.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. And once again, thanks for your time and
No,
letting
thank
folks
you.
get to know more about y'all. So when it comes to performing a show versus recording or writing, how does the preparation differ?
Oh my God, they're not even the same. It's
Really?
actually insane. Yeah, when we first, because I remember when we first got together, um, we sounded good and was like, okay, we're sick. Let's play. Like we're sounding good. Like live, you got people like coming into the practice room going, "You guys are insane" and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, like proper gets your ego going. You need it in this game, so it's just amazing that you got people saying that. But then we thought, oh, okay, we'll just turn up at a recording studio. We'll all play our instrument and then like together in a room, record it, and then that'll be great. It's not even the same thing, not at all. You know, I could be recording my guitar with layers about 7 or 8 times. The bass could be laid down so many times. Drums, you've got to get it, then you've got to add in extra drums. Lead guitar so much, then you've got to adjust the sound and things like that. Then you get it mixed and mastered and sent off. So now it's completely separate. For a gig, the way we prepare, just the bog standard way, go to the practice room, get the set list together, make sure we're happy, make sure we sound good, and then we'll go play the gig. We've done that so many times now. It's just we're good with that. Recording, it's a bit more convoluted just because of the way to keep prices down, but it's basically myself, Jules, and Mitch will record at home. We'll either go into the recording studio to record the drums, or we'll get like um, some automated drums put down, and then okay it with the drummer once he's added like his little added bits. Um, Once we've done all of our bits and we've added all the layers, then we will send it off to mix and master um, agent or engineer, sorry, and yeah, they'll get it done and get it back to us in a way that we can upload it to Spotify or somewhere like that to get people to listen. But yeah, literally, it's not. If for any new band out there who wants to get into music and wants to understand, do not treat your recording process the same way as you treat your live process, because it is just not even the same. And yeah, watch a shit ton of YouTube videos to understand what you need to do and what needs to be done to get the sound good. Otherwise, it just sounds so plain and hollow when you've got one of each instrument playing on a on a new track.
So how much time and effort is required in preparation before you even perform a set live?
Cool. I mean, it depends really. I mean, our set now, because we played it so many times, and where, well, I guess yeah, it would have been a couple of quite a few hours to be fair. I mean, I'm quite lucky because, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not the best guitarist in the world. I can play guitar and yeah, I can write some songs. I'm a good songwriter. I'm a terrible guitarist and I can hold a tune, but these
I need to
guys.
hear a riff. I need to hear a riff.
I can't honestly. I'm so you. I am probably the worst guitarist you've ever met in your life. Our bass player plays bass, like the most
Okay.
simplest instrument. I taught my friend to play bass in 2 weeks, and our bass player's a better guitarist than me. Um, but yeah, yeah. So I'm just lucky because around me, them guys are incredible. Like they know their instruments, they know their music, and they can just get up. Go. I mean, Mitch is insane because we lost, got rid of. I don't know. Our old guitarist went, and um, and then we got Mitch in, and we had some gigs lined up that we needed him to play. And that guy came in, learned all the songs just from listening to recordings and things like that. I mean, probably Jules helped him a bit, and I think we had one or two practices, and I mean, I could not do that. And then he came in, played the gig, and he was phenomenal. Like the guy is insane.
That is insane.
That is
That's
crazy.
insane.
Two practices, and they were probably only 2 hour practices. So he done 4 hours of actual practice with the band, and then he went out and done a gig, and the geezer's a joke. Um, but yeah, for me and for the band, like when we're putting a song together, it can take a couple of practices. So it is quite a few hours. Nothing too intense. I mean, like I said, we've been where we've just been playing together for so many years. It's just we come in, we know what we do, we play it, we put it together, and we pick it up quite quickly. So I'd say about a whole set list, maybe 5 or 6 practices, and we could probably get the whole thing. I mean, at the moment, it's only a set list of like 9 tracks, which includes 2 covers. Um, the most two recent, sorry, 2 of the set lists are going to be released January next year and April next year. I'm aiming for January the 17th. I will know this weekend whether that is the case, but our next single will be out on January the 17th.
So if it
Yeah.
comes out on a January, would you say that at that point you are show ready for that track?
We're already show ready. We're already playing that track
Okay.
at our shows. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha. Sorry about that.
so with the next 2 that are going to be released, they're already on our set list. So we're already playing them, but we're just going to get them released. So we need to work. We were aiming to release 4 singles a year. So what we will be doing in the next few practices, but we've got like 4 months of next year to get that down, which will be fine. We need to get 2 more tracks ready and played so that we can get them released as well. So in our practices, that'll be the next thing to be working on because yeah, the set list is down and absolutely fine. But I don't think it will take too long.
So you had mentioned that y'all sometimes plug in certain folks if someone can't come in. How do y'all work together, and how do you overcome maybe just difference of opinion or disagreements as a band and as a team?
Bitch and whine and then come back later and be like, oh, okay, you're right. Nah, I don't know. I don't know. We're quite lucky that like we all do have a moan. I mean, there's no way you can be in a band with anyone and not have like any form of difference.
Yeah,
But our opinion is try everything, and then if it's shit, we just get rid of it. I think that's what's hard because when someone then says, "Oh, it's shit," like I can imagine that hurting people. But the thing is, where I'm quite like I don't really get upset about stuff like that because I know that everyone's just doing whatever they can to try and make the band the best. But
yeah,
differences, I mean, vast differences in like difference of sound. I mean, it doesn't usually work out, and we've like had to separate from certain people because they wanted to go in a completely different direction. Um, but differences of like song and changes stuff. I think we get on. We're quite lucky that um, we get on quite well. Like we do have a few of us have like a few squabbles here and there. It's the norm, but I just feel like none of us take it personally. We all know that we've all got the same aim. We're all aiming for the same thing, which is to create the best music and service the fans the best we can. So um, yeah, that's the aim and that's the goal. So yeah, I just think try not to take it too hard. Take the criticism on board, and just talk and be honest with each other. It's better to get it all out in the open than hold it all in and then just explode one day.
absolutely, absolutely. You had
Mm.
mentioned some goals. You said that earlier, if I'm not mistaken, y'all try and
Hmm.
shoot for 4 tracks a year. Is
Yep.
there any other goals that y'all have right now for the fans and for yourselves?
Yeah, it's mainly get the tracks out, um, get get the streams up, get more support slots with some pretty decent bands in the UK, but mainly just eventually take over the scene and be the biggest band in the UK. That's the end goal. We want to be up there. I mean, it's tough now because I was always of the opinion that we will be the best band in the UK, but now Oasis are back, and I'm like, as you can see, I'm an absolute mega fan. Um, we can. I'll be happy with a second anyway now that they're back. Um,
Can I tell you a secret?
yeah, go on. You won't
I did
like them.
not know that Oasis was from the UK.
Really? Where did you think they're from?
I honestly, I it just wasn't. It was nothing I really considered. I mean, fortunate now, Spotify does such a good job of giving you more in depth
Mm,
information when it comes to artists. I just out of sight, out of mind, and
yeah,
that was yeah that wasn't a that was an afterthought until so
fair enough.
yeah so
Yeah, they're because they're heavily influenced by the Beatles, who are also from the UK. But I guess it's similar to be fair, because I always thought the Killers were from the UK. Turns out and then as I started getting into music more and understand it, I realized they are from the US. But because the Killers as well, like growing up being a teenager and like my young adult years, like listening to them in like clubs and stuff, it felt like that they were part of like the culture. What they were part of the culture. Like there was no place you could go to, like a club or bar anywhere, and the night at the end of the night, someone didn't play Mr. Brightside. Like I remember, like it was constant, and I'm like, yeah, it was insane. It was. I remember like there was a meme that used to go around saying like, "Oh, are we just all born knowing the lyrics of Mr. Brightside?" Because it's just crazy. So yeah, no, I get where you're coming from. If there's a band where you've listened to them or you know them and you're just not thinking about it, then yeah, I can see how that happens.
Yeah, not ashamed to
That's very
admit it.
good.
I'm curious now, who do you think is the most underrated band or artist from the UK?
I think they're from the UK. There's two.
Okay.
I don't know if I can say underrated because they do pretty well, but I
Okay.
would say Feeder.
Okay.
Um, they've got two tracks, "Feeling the Moment" and what's the other one? It's got the word "feeling" in it as well. It's going to slip from my mind.
Just the way I'm feeling.
just the way I'm feeling. So them two tracks, and High is an absolute banger as well. Um, yeah, they've got some tracks where like I feel like a lot of people know them, but not many people know who Feeder are. Also, there's a track called Bohemian Like Me by the Dandy Wardolls. I feel like no one knows who the Dandy Wardolls are, but everyone knows the Bohemian Like Me song, which is an absolute banger. But yeah, and the other band that I think are underrated are the Pigeon Detectives. Um, like when I was growing up, they I feel like they were quite big on the indie scene. They were smashing it on the festivals. Um, I mean, I think they're still about now, and their tracks are amazing. I mean, again, they still do well. So maybe it's just my opinion of I think they should be doing astronomically better than they are. But then again, I feel like the way the charts are, these sort of bands should be up there and should be doing absolute bits. But the amount of twaddle and trash you've got in the charts at the moment,
Good music's good music, and I don't care about the charts.
yeah, I think there's no longevity in the music in the charts. Like, you'd hear a song. To be fair, maybe Lewis Capaldi or someone like that. Maybe there might be a bit of longevity in their songs just because of who they are as a person, etc. But I just can't see people in like this. Is the thing, like Wonderwall, Don't Look Back in Anger. You had that whole thing that happened in the UK with the Ariana Grande concert, which was in Manchester, which is where Oasis is from. So basically, there was a terror attack in an Ariana Grande concert in the UK. This was a couple of years ago,
Okay.
and they were doing like a memorial like thing for it, and everyone there just started singing "Don't Look Back in Anger" by Oasis because Oasis are from Manchester and it's like their hometown, and it's so like all the people from that area sort of resonate with it. And I feel like moments like that, you just won't get that from the music nowadays because of what it is, what they're trying to portray. I don't even know what message they're trying to send, but it just feels like there's no message in the music. There's no story. They're not trying anything. Whereas music back in the day, like them people, well, I guess today they still love what they do, but there was just more feeling in it. Whereas today it just feels like machine manufactured, and there's no love in it anymore for me, and in the charts. So I get my music elsewhere now.
I feel you there.
Mm,
So you being a rhythm guitarist, I do have a question for you.
hmm
So there's this gentleman named Barry Harris. He's an American jazz musician, Hall of Famer. He says
hmm
that rhythm rules the world as a natural flow, almost like breathing. So from your perspective, how do you find a balance between following the natural flow of rhythm and adding your own unique expression?
I'll be honest, I have no idea how you're meant to play guitar. I only play guitar how how I play guitar. Like the thing that's
Yeah,
absolutely mental. So on the tracks that you hear, I am playing guitar on there, so
yeah.
you can tell that I do play guitar. I don't know any of the chords I'm playing. I don't know what like. We'll have a power chord that I'll need to play on the guitar, and then like Jules or Mitch will say to me like, "Oh, this is going to be an A or a D or an F or whatever," and I'll go, "Just give me a number, like a number on the fret," because I don't have a clue because I'm not graded. I can't read music, and like I said, I learned by copying others. So I know, like, don't get me wrong, I know like the basic chords, like I know how to play a C or an A minor or a G or whatever. Um, but I learnt the basics, learnt by playing like playing songs basically. And yeah, I didn't start getting my what I'd say is my own style until I accidentally once wrote Blitzkrieg Bop. It was insane. At that point, I knew I was going to be amazing. What a track! But yeah, so I'm going off piece. But yeah, so I sort of like taught myself just from watching YouTube videos. Once I started writing, I started. That's when I started getting like my own flow, I guess. But I just feel like my thing is just a mix of everything that I'm influenced by. So it's not anything specifically like anyone else, but like I even notice I strum the same way a drum. Like I can't really explain it, but when our drummer plays, I strum in the same pattern that he drums. I can't like maybe other people will know, but so in answer to your question, so I'm completely off the rails here. Um, yeah, all the only thing I do is what I do and what I enjoy. But again, it just comes back to exactly what I said at the beginning, which is, does it sound good? Does it sound shit? If it sounds shit, get rid. If it sounds
Yeah.
good, carry on. So that's that's um that's sort of how I play it. And yeah, just and obviously like the main thing, like I say all this and I say I want to service people and stuff like that. It is just about having fun. Like
Yeah.
if I weren't enjoying it, it'd be done. I just do what I enjoy. We do what we enjoy. Again, which is why we do this. I actually really enjoy these sort of conversations, and I get to talk about my favourite subject, which is me. So, so this is what it's all about. This is yeah, just do what's fun, and then it's not a job.
Yeah, certainly.
So, yeah. In answer to your question, I don't have a clue.
That's all right. Maybe you can help me with this because this is something I
Cool.
can't hold a tune to save my life. But
You
I
do.
need to know, how do you sing and play guitar at the same time? Like,
When you're two things I'll tell people if they want. Firstly, if you want to learn guitar, in the beginning, it's fucking awful. It's boring. It's horrible, and you're gonna hate it. Eventually, once you learn a few chords, and then you can do it. That's when you start to enjoy it. Once you like now, I'll pick it up, look at a few chords, be like, oh, okay, I can play that song, and I enjoy it because I can play the song straight out. So it's not too bad. But then then the other thing, singing and playing at the same time, I couldn't actually do it for ages. The way I did it was that's when I started writing my own song because I was really struggling. So the first thing I did, I got a Catfish and the Bottlemen song called Cocoon. I got the chords that he did and then swapped them about. So every time the same chord was played, I'd play the same chord that I changed it to, but then I'll just structure it out that way. Then played the whole tune, wrote a song, and then because I'm strumming to my own beat, then I don't have to practice anyone else's song. I can just sing however I want over this, and then eventually once I got doing that, then I started practicing to other people's songs. But yeah, for some reason I don't know why it's so hard to do. Another thing that's hard is if you practice playing guitar sitting down, standing up is a completely different ballpark. Like now, it's no different to me. Like now, it doesn't make a difference, but in the beginning, it's insane. But yeah, I'd say try writing your own songs, sing to your own chord progression, and then yeah, and then start practicing other songs that you enjoy and try singing to that.
hey, so last question.
Cool, hit me.
I'm hoping it's a good one. I'm
Hmm.
just shooting in the dark here, but how long now?
How long now?
How long now?
Is that I'm not going to get any context or anything like that. It's just how long now, yeah?
Yes.
Sooner rather than later.
I like that. I'll take that.
Mm,
All
mm,
right.
yeah.
Maybe somebody will pick that up besides us. If they don't now, they will soon. So
Wait, were you talking about my penis or were you talking about how long till I'm a rock star? About 1 inch
no.
on a good day.
Uh,
Sorry.
Hold
Okay, there was
on.
What are the other responses you've had to that? I need to.
On Insta. How long now?
Well, you just ask someone that and then you just find out what their response is.
You posted that. How long now?
We posted this.
Yes.
When did we post this? I'm gonna have to speak to our marketing guy. Oh yeah, 17th of Jan. 17th of Jan. Well, that's what we're aiming for. So I don't want to say definitely, but yeah,
Okay.
17th of Jan. Yes, we did post that. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, 17th of January. We're uploading this weekend, and the release should be 17th of Jan.
You can pre-save the IDK's latest song that's due to release January 17th, titled You're All Right. Find the pre-save link in the description. I truly do appreciate your time,
No, I
and
appreciate you.
the music is fantastic. I definitely think
Bro,
my
thank you.
favorite is Something About You.
Nice,
Uh,
thank you, thank you very much. So yeah, I appreciate that, mate.
have a
Thanks,
good evening,
Carl.
bud. Cheers.
And you have a good one, mate. Cheers, bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Are you still trying to find your rhythm? Then download the Grip Studio app on your mobile device. It's free, it's fun, and the link is in the description.